Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another Valentine's Day DIY, and this one is for these beautiful Valentine's Day Rae Dunn Inspired farmhouse beads. I'm going to be taking you through exactly how I created these beads, as well as that tassel and that Rae Dunn Inspired tag. But if you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to be using these unfinished wood beads that I got from Amazon. I will leave those linked down below. And the first thing I have to do is paint them. So I'll be using these two colors today. The first is this Krylon Gloss Pink Blush, which is so beautiful for Valentine's Day, and this Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte White Paint. And you can see my beads set up in the back here. They are ready for painting. And if you have not seen my video yet on my favorite way to paint wood beads, I will leave that link down below. It is very helpful and makes the whole process super fast. And while my beads are drying, I'm going to be getting started on the tags. So I picked up these tags from Amazon. I'll leave them linked down below. And they were the perfect size, but not the right color. So I'm going to be painting them with this white chalk paint, which is also from Amazon. And just to give it a nice white base to start off with. I gave both sides of my tags 2 coats of paint and let them dry. Here is my tag all dried and ready for the next step. And next, you're just going to be needing these free printables that you can find on my blog. So I already created this for you, and if you just head on over to my blog, you can just click the link. So you'll see here, I will leave this link down below. You're just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the article, and I have 2 options for you. So I have black here for a more traditional look, and then the other one I have is gray, which is the one I'll be using today, just for a little bit more of a muted color palette. And again, I will leave the link for this down below in the description box. So I'm going to be making a double-sided tag, so I just had to pick out 2 words, and today I'm going with the words love and then the XOXO one, but there's so many cute ones to choose from. And I'm just putting my tag over the word and making sure I place it in the center, and then just tracing around it with a pencil, and then I'm just going to be cutting those out. And I did print these out on cardstock, but you can also do it just on some regular printer paper. And to attach them, I'm just going to be using some matte Mod Podge that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So just put a nice even coat on the tag first. Then you're going to be placing that paper one on top and making sure just to put some pressure on it to secure it down. And then putting another coat of the matte Mod Podge on top to seal it to the wood. After letting this first side dry completely, I repeated the same process for the other side of the tag. After a few hours, my tag was completely dry, as well as my wood beads. So now we get to get started on my favorite part, which is assembling everything. So I did want to just use a pencil here to just push in that hole. So I just felt where the tag hole was and just use that pencil to push it through. You could do this before you put the Mod Podge on or after, it doesn't really matter. And here are my beads all fully painted. And like I said, this process is super quick and easy, so I will leave that video linked down below. For my tassel, I'm going to be using a combination of these 2 here, this gray and white one, as well as this regular twine ball, and I picked up both of these at the Dollar Tree. So first I'm starting off by just cutting a nice long piece of that twine, and then I'm going to be putting it into my tag here and just tying a series of knots. I think I did about 3 knots, and then just trimming off that extra tail. Next, I just started to string my beads onto my rope here in a pattern of pink and white until I was finished with all my beads. And if you're having some trouble with your twine, if it's getting stuck in the hole of the beads, you could always put a little piece of tape to help it go through the center of the bead a lot easier. So now our beads are all strung, and the last step is our tassel. So I'm going to be showing you my favorite way to make these tassels. So I'm going to be starting off with the gray one first, and I'll show you why at the end. So I'm going to cut a nice long piece of that and then hold it with my thumb and then wrap it around my 4 fingers until I get to the end of that piece. Then I'm going to be pulling an even longer piece of the twine and then wrapping it around my fingers in the same way. So depending on how much twine you use will determine how big your tassel is, but I like a big chunky tassel, so I'm using a lot of twine. When you think it's big enough, you can just trim it off, and then you're going to cut another piece of that twine and just put put it through the center of that wrapped circle that you just created, then you can carefully slip it off your fingers and just pull it tight and tie it into a series of knots. And then you're going to be cutting directly across from that. And then once I cut this, I'm going to now be folding it inside out. So that knot that we just made, that is going to be the center of our tassel inside the head of the tassel. And now the gray that we wrapped first will be on the outside. So this just kind of hides that knot that we created, and it just forms a very nice looking tassel with a very rounded head to it. The last step to hold our tassel together is just to take a nice long piece of that twine, or you could use the gray and white one for this, and just wrap it around a bunch of times nice and tight, and then you're just going to be tying that into a very tight knot and trimming off those extra tails. Now you can just pull your tassel nice and straight and trim those ends so they are all the same length, and it will look just perfect. To attach the tassel to that strand, I like to take a pencil and just carefully insert it into the center here, just to make a nice opening for that string to go through. It's just a little helpful tip. And then this is, to me, the trickiest part. You want to make sure that your strand is nice and tight. So make sure that when you're pulling your tassel and tying it on, you're pulling those beads extra tight and then putting a couple of knots in it and then just trimming off that extra string, and that is it. You are done. I think that these beads came out so pretty. I love the light white and the pink, and it just looks so just perfect for Valentine's Day. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do not forget to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Maybe you can tell me which words you would use for your Rae Dunn tags. Thank you so much for watching.